Hello, my name's Logan, and today I'll be showing you how to get your sketches or line drawings that are on paper into your computers and into Clip Studio, and a couple different ways you can edit them and color them. I've been an artist since I was young. My first experience was with Manga Studio 5, and then I picked up Clip Studio again when the iPad Pro came out, and now I'm using it on Windows. Some of my work is displayed here, but let's just jump right into it. So, I'm using Windows Faxes Scan. If you're on Mac, you're going to want to use Image Capture, and you're going to go to New Scan, uncheck Preview or Scan Images as separate files. You're going to want to scan at least 300 dpi. I have a bunch of small drawings, so I'm gonna do a higher DPI because I'm gonna enlarge them. We're gonna scan. There we go. Drawings, and more drawings. Alright, so once you get your scan in here, you check it, make sure everything looks alright. Don't worry if it's upside down, flip-flop sided, switched around, fix it later. We will fix it later. File. We're gonna save as. Save it to scans. It's gonna be copper spread. And we're gonna save it as a JPEG. Okay. Okay, now we could close this. You're gonna want to open Clip Studio, open your whatever type of canvas you want, however you want to do your canvas. This canvas isn't set up all the way right, so I need to make some adjustments. So if you're doing an ink drawing, you're gonna want to have a white canvas, which I don't have. So I'm gonna change that by I created a new fill, Command Shift N for new layer. Go hit G for the bucket or click on it. Bang. Okay. Now we can import our stuff. Import image scans. Bang. Bang, 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 bang. All right, we got it. So now we got it in here. You can adjust it, enlarge it. You know, if you want to do it, if you're doing a whole page and you wanted to fit the canvas, you could do like that. You see how mine is though? It's cut up paper, so I'm gonna be rearranging these. Okay. So the first thing you want to do if you have to do a rearranging or a lot of editing, you're gonna rasterize. If you don't need to do like any transforms on your piece, like moving things around, and it's just one image or one paper and you just need it to fit right in here in the full size of the canvas, then what you're going to want to do, you're going to go up to layer, new correction layer. You'll do a brightness one first. You put the brightness up a little bit. It's going to be different than mine's, so you know you're going to have to play with it. Bring the contrast down. Actually, you know what? Take the contrast up a little bit. That's looking good to me. Just zoom in, make sure you're not losing anything, any fidelity. Like any line work, I mean. Sometimes you'll start to lose these little lines, these lighter lines on the edge. You see that? How even though it's darker, I lost a lot of lines on the edge. And we don't need it to be all the way dark yet because we're going to do another correction layer. One more level correction. And alright, can you guys see that? Yeah. So we're gonna let me move it a little bit. I take this middle one, I bring it up here. With that bang. You see how dark my line work just got? You can play with it for different effects, but this is how I do it. So now everything is pretty much white and black. These drawings over here I did with ballpoint pens, so that's why they have like a little bit of a tint and they're a little lighter. These were with like a micron or something. So if you're using like good black ink, you should be able to get all your lines nice and black with this method. And you can use this on pencil sketches too to get your lines darker if they're a lot of times pencil sketches don't show up well in the scanner. So you probably would want to do this with the pencil sketches too. Alright, now I'm gonna just adjust things around for a little bit and see about my layout. Alright, so if you want to adjust and move things around, you're gonna have to rasterize your layer. This is kind of like one of those undoable things, which is fine. I don't know why it wouldn't be fine, but it changes your image. It makes it so it's like another graphic. It's like another layer instead of being an image on a layer. It makes it like it's an actual like layer that you can edit. I'm gonna hit Control T after I selected it to transform. I'll hold Shift while I rotate it. That'll lock it at 90 degrees. That'll make it snap to 90-degree angles. I'm gonna hit OK. So at this point, sometimes what I would do is just open up a new layer and get to coloring. Doing it that way, you still have this layer that has white and black fill all over it, which can make things tricky down the line. And it depends on what you're trying to do. And if you want to change the color of the line work in individual places, it's really tricky to do that when the white with the white background. So to get rid of this white background, we're going to rasterize first, and then we are going to go to Edit, Convert Brightness to Opacity. Now I have, you see it turned beige, which is my original paper color. So all of this line work is now separate. There's no paper on this. So I can color on a layer beneath it and it will still show through. You can see when I move it, it's still all good. Yeah, so now we have this separate layer with just the line work. And I think I'm gonna zoom in a bit. No, I won't zoom in. But I will clean this up. Now that I have the line work separate, I could just erase away. If you don't do it this way and you just leave your you leave your lines and whites on the same layer. Instead of erasing to correct your line work, you would use white. Or whatever the background color like of the paper that you use to ink on is. You can eyedrop it. But these were just originally meant to be thumbnails that I would do into bigger drawings. Some of them I did as bigger drawings already, but some of them I did not. Like this one. That's why I'm doing this one. But I haven't really colored any of them. I'm trying to get the right lines. Yeah, just to recap, we scan our image in. The main gist of it, there's lots of different ways you could do it, but you scan or you take a picture of your drawing. Try to get it in good lighting. Then you're gonna up the brightness a little bit, depending, you gotta take a look at it and adjust it to your liking, as well as the contrast. You're gonna adjust the contrast as well. Then you need to scale, transform your piece if you need to, and import it into your canvas. We make these correction layers in here, but if you want and you take a picture on your phone, you can also do the brightness and the contrast in your iPhone and the built-in editor on there. I've done, you can do the whole scanning process and these adjustment layers on the iPhone and then import it in. You have a little bit less control, but you could do it that way if you want. But here you'll see the two correction layers we made. So these layers are going to affect every layer underneath them. Now we're good to color. Now we're good to do what we want to with these drawings. There's a couple ways you can color your line work. Either way, you're going to want to open a new layer, Control Shift N, and then you can set your layer to darken or multiply. But then you can color in. You see the line work still showing through even though the layer is above it, because when you set your layer property to darken, it darkens what's beneath it. Hence the name. You could also set it to multiply, which then it multiplies what's behind it. But since we extracted the line work, we can just open a layer beneath the line work and color right on there with no layer effects. I'm going to start coloring. Excuse me while I time lapse. Alright, we're all cleaned up. Now, our guy's all painted, but we want to get some of the black out of there, right? So we're going to go on our layer that has the line work. If you want to adjust your colors, you go to your layer that has the line work, you hit layer, layer settings, lock transparent pixels. Boom. So now when you draw on this layer, it will only draw on the lines and nothing else. And what I'd recommend is you save a duplicate you left click and you do duplicate layer before you do that. Before you start messing with the lines. That way, you always have a backup. I'm fine because I have another one right here. Dang, these colors look way better than these colors. Whoa, 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 what did I do wrong? These colors are it. These colors are not it. I don't like these colors. Alright, it is what it is. It's too late now. Alright, so now that we got our transparent pixels locked, we can start messing with the line work. The rule of thumb is to keep your line work as dark as possible. If you still want lines to show. But you don't have to. You can do highlights. You could use it to render. You could do all type of stuff. And see how I have so many lines, so like I got a lot to work with. Like maybe these ones will be dark. But the ones up here could be light. So this is a really good method if you're an ink illustrator, if you work on comics, and you're just trying to get your stuff digital so you can edit it or so you can do text to it, or you could use this for your pencils to get them in so you could ink them digitally. I use this process all the time for in all different ways. Sometimes I ink the drawing and scan it in, sometimes I pencil it, sometimes I scan in pictures. There's all types of ways you can use it. You can mess around with different adjustment layers for different effects. If you're trying to scan color work or take pictures of color work, you may need to use other adjustment layers. Let's take a look at the ones that we have, or correction layers, I mean. So you can use any of these. You need to fix a specific spot on your canvas, like recolor a specific spot. You'll do the lasso and select it, and then you can do a tonal correction, which is like a correction layer, except it just affects your selection instead of making a new layer that affects the layers underneath it. I hope this helps you out in some way. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. Stay up, stay creative.